So I'm going to walk you through how to set up your web text. I noticed several of you had written your project in Google Drive, and that is not going to fit the web text genre requirements. So what we're going to do is to start your web text, you've got your page here, and we're going to go to Insert and Text Box. And here you see this little drop down has the title, the heading, subheading, and small text. So we're going to call this one title. You're going to add your project 3 title here and center it. Then we're going to add another text box, and this one we're going to change from the drop down to heading, and we're going to call it introduction. So you can see there's a difference between these two because the project title is big and the introduction is smaller. If you only have one level of heading and you want to go even smaller, you could use subheadings, and that's fine. From there, we're going to click text box, and we will drag this up to be underneath the introduction. We will add the introduction to your project here. So I'm going to copy this introduction and I'm going to paste it in here. So I've got my introduction showing up correctly. Next, I'm going to hit text box, and your next section will be your methods. So we'll go to subheading because that's one we chose to use. Methods and text box, and we'll drag those together. And here you will paste your methods in. And we got our methods, and we'll add another text box, and this one will be results, and text box, and we'll drag that to the bottom of the other one, and we will paste in your results. So now let's say we want to add an image. We will go find our image. So we'll click Images, Upload, and I've got an image here. Okay, so now my image isn't with the text. So what I want to do is I'm going to add text box, and the text that I want to go next to this image I will put in the text box, and I'm going to drag the text box to be next to the image. Then we will add another text box, and then you'll continue your project from here. So you'll paste in the next part, and we need another image, so let's upload our next image, and I'm going to add a text box. We'll add in our text, and I want to put this image on the right, so we'll move it over here. You see how it highlights over there on the side, and you've got that. So my figures already have headings on them. If you don't have a heading, you can add a text box and drag it underneath the image. You see how it highlights underneath it? You can call this figure 2 and difference and multiple. Then if you can leave it normal text, or if you want to make it small so it looks really clearly like a caption, that's how you can do that. So you'll want to make sure that your project 3 has your headings and subheadings and your images. Let's go ahead and finish this up. So we will have our conclusion, and we will make that a subheading, text box, drag them together, paste in your conclusion, and then finally a text box, and you want your works cited, and we'll make that a subheading. So we need to add our works cited, so let's go find some works cited sources. Come down here, and we will put these in. By adding a text box, dragging it under our subheading, and pasting those in. So as you see, Google Sites does not do hanging indents. So if you want to bullet these, that's just fine, but you're not going to be able to do a hanging indent. One final note, it's good to consider your visual rhetoric. You know, are you going to drag your images and make them larger or smaller so they fit the text a little better? You know, you want to make sure that parts of the image aren't cut off. And then finally, think about, how your background looks. Does this look nice with the gray and the weird boxes? Not really. So you might want to consider playing around with different themes that are available. So if you click themes over here on the right, this looks much nicer with the consistent white background. So that's just something else to consider as you're doing this. Feel free to email me if you have any questions, and I will see you all next week.